Laura Dern's parents, Bruce Dern and Diane Ladd, met on the set of the Roger Corman film The Wild Angels, biker film. 60s counterculture, no rules, pleasure seekers. So it's not much surprise that Laura played a female character in the David Lynch film Wild at Heart that just was brazen freedom and sexuality and pleasure seeking and live for the moment with no consequence, not unlike her mom and dad's films of the 60s. In this clip from August 15th, 1990 on the Today Show, Dern talks about the Wizard of Oz-esque story that David Lynch created in Wild at Heart. And it really was a comedy. I remember seeing it in the movie theater at Severance Town Center in Cleveland Heights and laughing out loud and people turning around and thinking we were sick. Well, sick humor, I own it. Imaginative filmmaking, I love it. Bruce Dern, my favorite actor. Laura Dern's done some great work. One of the first families acting.
Nominations, a mountain of critical acclaim, and a sardonic vision of the world have made director David Lynch one of the most talked about men in the movie business. His newest film opens on Friday. It's called Wild at Heart, a strange and violent love story. In the first of 3 parts on Wild at Heart, our man in Hollywood, Jim Brown, profiles the film's sensuous star, Laura Dern.
Director David Lynch describes Wild at Heart as a violent comedy, even more so than his previous feature movie, Blue Velvet.
Okay, Lula. At the top of your stretch, I'm going to stretch for the both of us, baby. You take the stretch, you take the thing of it, and you go back out and you say, so this is big tuna.
Wrong, sweetie.
Actress Laura Dern can attest to Lynch's statement firsthand. She appears in both films. Wild at Heart, opposite Nicolas Cage, the latest.
It's just shocking sometimes when things aren't the way you thought they were.
Well, it's funny. On a film like Wild at Heart, it was a very different experience than Blue Velvet. Blue Velvet, my character was somewhat of an archetype of innocence in a way, and therefore I fulfilled a certain role, and there would be David's weirdness around me, but he always expected a certain thing from me that never crossed a certain line. But on Wild at Heart, I met David on Jupiter, and we were on that planet together, so I don't think there was ever a moment that I even wondered what he was doing or he had to get me to go further, because my character is so completely uninhibited, emotionally, sexually, all those ways. So as an actress, I sort of took the leap. There's a lot of a sense of Wizard of Oz in the movie, a very great sense of it, and you get the feeling that, you know, you're on this yellow brick road. And it's their journey through the South together. It's 2 people madly in love, a love that I think you never see in movies, that's just all-consuming, all-pervasive. And being a David Lynch movie, this journey or road trip takes us through very bizarre worlds, and we meet up with incredibly bizarre or distorted characters. And the film sort of has a race to it because my mother, Marietta, played by my real-life mother, Diane Ladd, is chasing after us.
This is the second time that you've played in a film with her.
Yeah.
The first being...
Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. I was a little baby, and I was 7 years old on Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, and I just ate an ice cream cone at a counter. I didn't say anything, but it was my first time ever, you know, being on a set in a movie as an extra. And this time, we both had a little more to do together, and it was an extraordinary experience.
Hello.
Is Lula there?
Who is this?
Sailor Ripley. Can I, talk to Lula?
There's no way in hell that you're going to talk to her.
If you even think about seeing Lula, you're dead.
What?
You heard me. And don't you ever call here again.
Mama,
You know who that was. And you know that you aren't. And I mean are not gonna see him ever. End of story.
Like hell.
Thank goodness our real-life relationship is very different from the one in the film, which is slightly disturbed. But
I'd go the far end of the world for you, baby. Oh, you know I would.
Rockin' good news.
Wild at Heart, directed by David Lynch and starring Laura Dern and Nicolas Cage, opens this week. For today, Jim Brown, NBC News, Hollywood.
It is different. Tomorrow we'll talk with director David Lynch, and then on, what's tomorrow? Thursday. And then on Friday, we'll do Nicolas Cage. 55 past the hour. Here's Joe Whitty.
Thanks for watching Cleveland Live Music. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. There's Patreon and GoFundMe information as well.